I don't know. I don't know what I ever did. So whenever we'd lose somebody, she'd say, now he knows the secret. We wish very bad things.
It was the sitcom about older women that network executives said would never work. 4 actresses who became unlikely family and revolutionized television by proving that women over 50 could be funny, relevant, and tackle subjects no one else would dare discuss. The Golden Girls became more than a show. It became a cultural phenomenon that changed how America viewed aging, friendship, and what was possible on television. The show that almost never happened before. The Golden Girls became one of television's most beloved sitcoms. NBC executives were convinced a show about old women would be a ratings disaster. The concept seemed commercially impossible. Who would watch 4 senior citizens sitting around talking? They told me viewers wanted young, sexy characters, creator Susan Harris revealed. The idea that older women could be funny, sexual, and relevant seemed radical. Harris drew inspiration from her own life and the relationships she observed among older women who defied stereotypes. The pilot tested poorly with focus groups who couldn't understand why a show would center on characters past their supposed prime. Despite disastrous test screenings, NBC executive Brandon Tartikoff took a chance on the show, believing the premise had potential. What saved the Golden Girls was recognizing that casting would be everything. The right actresses could transform a risky concept into compelling television. The search for those perfect 4 women became the show's most crucial creative decision. Bea Arthur's Dorothy, the reluctant star. Bea Arthur initially refused the role of Dorothy's Bornak multiple times, unconvinced that another sitcom was worth her time after her success in Maude. Arthur worried the material would be lightweight compared to her previous socially conscious work. Bea didn't want to do another TV series, Susan Harris explained. She'd already proven herself and wasn't interested in just being funny for funny's sake. What changed Arthur's mind was the promise that Dorothy would serve as the show's moral center and voice of reason. The tension between Arthur and Betty White became legendary, with Arthur finding White's upbeat personality grating during long production days. This real-life friction actually enhanced their on-screen dynamic, making Dorothy's exasperation with Rose feel authentic. Arthur's departure after 7 seasons despite continued success shocked fans. She felt the show had run its course creatively and wanted to leave while the quality remained high, demonstrating artistic integrity over financial incentive. Betty White's Rose playing against type. Betty White's casting as naive, sweet Rose Nyland represented a dramatic departure from her previous television persona as the sharp-tongued, man-eating Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. This transformation showcased White's remarkable range. Everyone knew Betty as the sarcastic home wrecker, director Jay Sandrich noted. Playing an innocent was risky. The role was originally intended for Rue McClanahan, with White set to play man-hungry Blanche, but a last-minute swap proved inspired. White's comic genius made Rose's stupidity endearing rather than annoying. Her delivery of absurd St. Olaf stories, fictional tales from Rose's Minnesota hometown, became television legend, with writers competing to create the most ridiculous anecdotes. What made Rose work was White's commitment to playing her as genuinely innocent rather than mockingly dumb. Rose's naivety came from a pure heart and sheltered upbringing, making her lovable despite her complete lack of common sense and social awareness. Rue McClanahan's Blanche, Southern Belle sexuality. Rue McClanahan's creation of Blanche Devereaux gave television its most openly sexual older woman, challenging every stereotype about aging and desire. Blanche's unapologetic enjoyment of her sexuality revolutionized how older women were portrayed on screen. I wanted Blanche to be sexy without being pathetic, McClanahan explained. She wasn't desperate or sad, she was a woman who loved sex and saw no reason to apologize. This confidence made Blanche empowering rather than embarrassing. McClanahan worked extensively on Blanche's Southern accent and wardrobe, creating a complete character through voice, movement, and costume choices. The flowing nightgowns and romantic clothing became inseparable from Blanche's personality. What made portraying senior sexuality revolutionary was how the show treated Blanche's desires as normal and healthy rather than inappropriate. Her romantic storylines were played for comedy, but never mocked her for wanting love and physical connection at her age, validating desires society preferred to ignore. Estelle Getty's Sophia, the shortest giant. Estelle Getty's casting as Sophia Petrillo created one of television's most delicious ironies. She was actually younger than Bea Arthur, who played her daughter. Getty underwent extensive makeup to appear decades older, spending hours in the makeup chair daily. The transformation was remarkable, makeup artist Leo Lotito explained. We aged Estelle by at least 30 years every shooting day. Getty's diminutive stature combined with her sharp tongue made Sophia both adorable and terrifying. The brilliant writing device of Sophia's stroke, destroying her brain-mouth filter, allowed the show's sharpest social commentary to come from the oldest character. Sophia could say anything under the excuse of medical condition, making her the truth teller no one could argue with. What viewers didn't know was Getty's real-life struggle with dementia during later seasons, making her performances increasingly difficult. Her castmates protected and supported her, covering mistakes and helping her through scenes when memory failed, demonstrating the genuine family bond they'd developed. The kitchen table, where magic happened. The Golden Girls kitchen table became television's most iconic gathering spot, where four women shared cheesecake and solved life's problems through honest conversation. This simple set piece became the show's emotional and comedic center. The kitchen table allowed intimacy that no other set could provide, director Terry Hughes noted. The close proximity forced by the small table made conversations feel genuinely personal and confidential, like friends sharing secrets. How the kitchen scenes allowed the show to address serious topics through humor was revolutionary. Discussions about death, sexuality, politics, and social issues happened over dessert, making difficult conversations feel natural and accessible. The writer's room crafted dialogue that balanced comedy with genuine emotion, creating scenes that could make audiences laugh and cry within minutes. This tonal balance became the show's signature strength. Why this simple set became one of TV's most recognizable locations is simple. It represented something universal, the place where women gather to support each other through life's challenges. The topics no sitcom would touch. The Golden Girls shattered television taboos by addressing subjects other sitcoms avoided entirely. The show tackled AIDS when the disease was heavily stigmatized, featuring HIV-positive characters with dignity and compassion during America's most fearful period. Episodes dealing with homosexuality and gay marriage aired years before such topics became socially acceptable. The show's matter-of-fact acceptance of LGBTQ+ characters and their right to love freely was revolutionary for 1980s network television. We treated controversial topics with humor but never mockery, writer Susan Harris explained. The show discussed aging, death, sexuality, and chronic illness with unprecedented honesty, acknowledging realities that television typically ignored. How comedy allowed the show to address these subjects was crucial. Humor made difficult conversations palatable for audiences who might reject pure drama. People laughed and learned simultaneously, changing attitudes through entertainment. The show's willingness to confront taboos demonstrated that sitcoms could serve social progress while remaining commercially successful and genuinely entertaining for mainstream audiences. The guest stars who became family. The Golden Girls attracted impressive guest stars who considered appearances on the show career highlights rather than mere paychecks. Recurring characters like Dorothy's ex-husband Stan, Blanche's various beaux, and Rose's boyfriend Miles enriched the show's universe. Actors lobbied agents for Golden Girls roles, recognizing the show's quality and cultural cachet. Even established stars wanted to participate in the phenomenon, leading to memorable cameos and multi-episode arcs. Everyone wanted to work with those four women, casting director Judith Weiner revealed. The chemistry between regulars and guests elevated episodes, with newcomers raising their performances to match the established ensemble's excellence. The integration of guest stars felt natural rather than forced, with celebrity cameos serving stories rather than disrupting them. This discipline maintained the show's quality and prevented the gimmicky celebrity appearances that plagued other successful sitcoms. What made the guest appearances memorable was how the regular cast welcomed newcomers generously, creating collaborative atmosphere that brought out everyone's best work and maintained consistent quality across 7 seasons. Behind the scenes, friendship and feuds. The real relationships between the 4 leads were complicated, mixing genuine affection with professional tensions that sometimes erupted into conflict. Bea Arthur and Betty White's dynamic was particularly complex, with Arthur finding White's perpetual cheerfulness exhausting. Bea was serious and intense. Betty was sunny and optimistic, a crew member revealed. They respected each other's talent, but were fundamentally different people. This tension actually enhanced their on-screen chemistry, making Dorothy's exasperation with Rose feel authentic. Despite occasional friction, the cast shared genuine affection and supported each other through personal struggles. When Estelle Getty's health declined, her co-stars protected her fiercely, ensuring she could continue working with dignity. The pranks, laughter, and camaraderie on set created bonds that extended beyond professional relationships. They attended each other's family events, supported charitable causes together, and maintained friendships after the show ended. How the cast balanced professional excellence with personal complexity demonstrated mature professionalism. They didn't have to be best friends off camera to create magic on screen together. The cultural revolution. The Golden Girls fundamentally changed how television portrayed older women, proving they could be protagonists rather than supporting characters. The show demonstrated that women over 50 had stories worth telling and audiences eager to hear them. Before Golden Girls, older women were mothers and grandmothers, television historian Robert Thompson noted. After, they could be sexual, funny, complex, and central. This shift opened doors for subsequent shows featuring older female leads. The LGBTQ+ community's embrace of the Golden Girls created a devoted fan base that celebrated the show's progressive values and humor. The characters became gay icons, representing acceptance, chosen family, and living authentically. The show's influence on ensemble comedies from Sex and the City to Hot in Cleveland is undeniable. The template of diverse personalities united by friendship became a standard format that continues thriving. Why new generations continue discovering the series through streaming is simple. The themes of friendship, aging with dignity, and mutual support remain timeless and universally resonant. The legacy. Still golden. After decades, the Golden Girls paved the way for older actresses to land leading roles, proving that talent and storytelling matter more than age demographics. The show's commercial success forced networks to reconsider their assumptions about audience preferences and marketability. Syndication success made The Golden Girls eternally profitable, with the show airing continuously somewhere in the world at virtually any given moment. This constant presence introduced the series to generations who weren't born when it originally aired. Modern shows from Grace and Frankie to Girls Wi-Fi Viva draw direct inspiration from the Golden Girls format of older women supporting each other through life's challenges with humor and honesty. Why the themes remain timeless is obvious. Friendship, aging, acceptance, and finding joy despite life's difficulties are universal human experiences. The show's willingness to address difficult topics with humor and heart created television that transcends its specific era. The lasting legacy is how 4 actresses and brilliant writing proved that stories about older women could be funny, relevant, profitable, and culturally significant, changing television forever by simply telling truthful stories with love and laughter. If you've enjoyed these Golden Girls revelations, watch it again and appreciate the revolutionary comedy hiding beneath the cheesecake. Thank you for being a friend and traveling down this road with us tonight.